Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, in New York, Westchester County. It's March 9th, 2018, and we got hit with another nor'easter. This time we got about a foot of snow, and it was a heavy, wet, slushy snow. Not fun. But this is why ConEd, which is our electric company here in Westchester County, sucks, okay? Every month I get a bill from ConEd. I have to pay it. If I don't pay it, lights out. Immediately, too, by the way. So a tree falls down. You see, people have to understand this time of year, the trees here in New York, the ground is saturated. So it doesn't take much for a tree to fall down, you know, maybe a 40-mile-per-hour wind. Now, all these trees have fallen down here in New York, and it's taking them weeks. People are still out of power. They're actually, we've had two nor'easters. They were out of power the one before, which was like almost 15 days ago. So ConEd is just taking their sweet time, just like when Hurricane Sandy came. That was about 5 or 6 years ago. They just took their sweet time. And you know, well, yeah, we'll be there maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's like Friday. So, okay, that's great. People, if you have a house, invest in a generator. Get solar paneling, whatever you got to do, because you can't rely on these electric companies. They don't give a shit about you. And when the shit hits the fan and everything goes wrong and you lose power, don't hold your breath, because it's not coming back for a while, especially if one of the telephone poles breaks. Here's a hint for ConEd, okay? Hey, ConEd, why don't you step up to the plate and hire tree guys, okay? They must be easy to find. They're all over the place. Hire a whole set of tree guys. Yeah, sure, you're understaffed. That's right. Give me that excuse. Give me this excuse. All right, why don't you hire tree guys? Because you can't get to the telephone wires until the tree is moved. So God knows when the tree guy comes, they can't even coordinate that. So you're out of power for 5 or 6 days. All right, this is why ConEd sucks. They still haven't fixed this problem, and they probably never will. ConEd is a monopoly, okay? Go ahead, try to open up your own electric company. You can't. I mean, it's impossible. You can't do it. You know, and you know, back in the 50s, when they put these telephone poles up, they should have had them in the ground, and they never did that. They can't do it now. You know how many billions of dollars it would cost to rip up every single sidewalk in Westchester County and put the wires, you know, in the ground? It's impossible. They can't do it. Your electric bill would go through the roof, and people are already complaining about it. All right, I just wanted to put that out there because people are just fed up with ConEd here. And again, it's a monopoly, all right? Just like the social networking, it's a monopoly too. You know, our founders did not want to allow monopolies in this country, but we have them. We have them all over the place. Go ahead, try to open up a social network. You can't do it. Go ahead, try to open up another, you know, like Google. Try to go against Google, all right? Try to invent another search engine and see how far you get with it, because you're not going anywhere. Google's dominated that. Facebook has dominated the social networking. Twitter, you know, everybody. Then you got Amazon. Don't get me started with them. How convenient it is. The only convenience I see is the mom and pop store going out of business down the street from your house, and all you're doing is ordering shit on Amazon. You know, once again, a monopoly. All right, we didn't allow this in this country. It's not the reason why I made this video. I like to do on Fridays everyday shit that you should think about, okay? And I'm gonna give a shout out to Johnny out in Staten Island, and he spoke to me on the phone last night. We were talking about a few things, and I was thinking about what we were talking about this morning, and this is just everyday shit, okay? I want to talk about the moon with you. Yes, the moon that does not revolve at all, okay? It's locked in. Has anybody explained to you why it's locked in? Probably not. It's locked in because of the gravitational pull. Bullshit. And I'll tell you why. Well, first off, you know, if you've watched my other videos, I don't even believe there's a tangible object up there to begin with anyway. I believe that's a simulation, just as the sun is. However, I'm getting off the subject here. So anyway, we got this moon, okay, which is locked in. You can't see the other side of it. Of course, NASA has pictures, drawings for you if you want to take a look at them. Which are just really, they must have really dropped the ball on that. They've ran out of ideas. CGI isn't doing very well nowadays, I guess. Okay, that's the only planet in the entire solar system, okay? maybe in the entire universe, as far as the astrophysicists, think. All right, and that doesn't light up a light bulb. Okay, let's talk about the gravitational pull of the moon. Okay? Apparently, our gravitational pull is moving further away from us. Okay, one of the astrophysicists said that it's traveling at as how your fingernails grow is how far away it's digressing from our planet. Okay. And they found this out 200, 300 years ago. But yet still, when we have the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse, we have a perfect circle. Okay, all the time. Nothing's changed. Oh yeah, it's only going to be a couple of centimeters. It's going to change. Bullshit. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. Okay, so that's there. I'm putting that out for everybody to think about. I want you to think about the satellites now. All right, satellites degrade. All right, with their height. Sometimes they get into the atmosphere. We've had a couple crash here. Okay? Well, I don't even believe satellites exist, but if they do, let's just look at it as somebody who believes they live on a ball. If they do, think about this. All right. Even Hollywood made a movie about it. Remember that Russian communication satellite? Well, it was supposed to be, and then they went up there, they found out it was a bunch of nuclear bombs up there, but yet that was degrading, all right? It was degrading to a point where it was going to come back into the atmosphere and it was going to explode all these nuclear bombs. All right, once again, Hollywood throwing it in your face, giving you obvious shit, okay? You're probably wondering why I'm bringing up the satellites. So these things are degrading up there. And they're getting closer and closer to the atmosphere. Once in a while, they have to press a button and have them go back up into space. This guy's going 95 miles per hour. So the gravity is degrading from satellites. All right. I want you to take a look at a planet called Saturn. I'd like you to visit it. That's right. Think about it. Think about all the beautiful CGI pictures that you see. Saturn's got 53 moons, okay? 53, that's right. All different shapes and sizes and all sorts of shit, and beautiful pictures and all that nonsense. Not one of them has ever degraded back into Saturn itself. Let's take a look at the rings of Saturn, all right? These beautiful, delicate, if you sneeze on one of these things, it'll blow right off the planet. But yet, they're always perfect. They look marvelous. Not one single planet out of the 53 has ever crossed over those rings at all and degraded one of those rings at all. I don't even know how many rings they are. I get an odd number, and I'm sure it's like 23 rings or something, or 53 rings, or who knows? Who knows? I don't even know. But not one of these 53 moons that have been circling around Saturn for billions and billions of years has never crossed through one of the rings of Saturn and destroyed it. Okay. Another thing I don't buy. It's bullshit. All right. These are not planets up there. You do know that, right? Okay. We're in a dome. We're on a flat plane here. Okay. Those things do not exist. Let's take a look at Mars. Mars has a very peculiar, actually two moons, all right, Phobos and Ebos. One of the moons, supposedly, I think it's Phobos, is going to crash into the planet. Yeah, sure, it's going to take a couple of million years. So this moon, which they don't even look real because they look like potatoes up in the sky, is breaking the laws of physics, okay, as far as I'm concerned. For some reason or another, this is the only one in the entire solar system that the moon is going to crash eventually into the planet. Now, this is where I woke up, all right, thinking that this was actually originally, Phobos was an alien craft, actually, that was put up there, okay? Another lie, okay, because there are no planets. Sorry. So all of that still doesn't prove to something that something's wrong with our picture. That we live on a flat plane, that we live under a dome. I had somebody leave me a comment the other day about how far away these stars are. All right, and I was thinking about that comment. I didn't really know how to answer them because they do make up these numbers with 50 trillion light years away or whatever. You know what? I'm going to say from now on, these stars, they probably can calculate how far away they are, but they're lying to you. And they're putting all these numbers and zeros and all that shit. Because if we do live underneath the dome, each of these sources of light would be further away from each other. All right? So say it's only 73 miles up there, or 100 miles up there. So just take that number, add a trillion to it, and maybe that's truly how far away it is. You know, so when they say 73 trillion light years away, well, you know what? It's probably 73 miles away. Oh, God, it just gets worse and worse, doesn't it, guys? I mean, these are stuff that I just want you to think about. With Saturn, our planet, and the other bullshit that's been shoveled for you and lied to you. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. You know, I appreciate you commenting. I appreciate you leaving messages. I appreciate you letting me be a part of your life. All right, it really means a lot to me, guys. Have a good weekend. I'm going to try to put another video out. Some other things I want you to think about, too. And I've been real busy with the move and everything like that, and getting things organized with the storm and everything like that. But everything's good, and I hope everything's good with you guys. And, okay, I've said most of the things I needed to say, but it's good for now.